guys, it's your boy Danny T back with another video. I hope you're all staying safe at these times. I thought I'd record this video outside today. It's just a really nice day. Unfortunately, as you can see behind me here, the lighting is quite bad and I'm squinting a lot because there's a whole lot of light and reflection out here. So I hope that's okay. Today, I thought we would talk about gear acquisition syndrome. If you haven't heard of that before, gear acquisition syndrome, or GAS as it's often seen, is like a made up disease or condition or whatever you want to call it that guitarists suffer from, where they can't stop buying gear and they can't let go of the gear they've got. So I wanted to talk about how we can let go of guitar gear a whole lot easier without the regret, without the remorse, or without missing the gear we're letting go of. I suffer from GAS a whole lot. I really struggle to get rid of gear because I just like having it around in my little space. So I'm sure there's plenty of you out there who like having gear around in your studio space or where you play or whatever, just because it's nice to have. And this is GAS, right? So I'm going to talk about how we can let go of that gear without the regret, the remorse, or missing what we're letting go of. So I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to do this. Okay, so tip number 1. Whatever you make from selling gear, whatever money you make from selling gear, you put it aside for future gear purchases. So even if you aren't saving up for a specific guitar or a specific pedal or whatever, you're just making a bit of money off this gear that you're selling, put it aside to fund other gear. This might sound counterintuitive because you're just feeding your gear addiction, but in the long run, it's going to help you come to terms with letting go of the gear you have now, and then you'll be able to buy something that you really like in the future. Small disclaimer, this situation is obviously different if you are in the situation where you are financially struggling. If that's why you're selling gear, to fund your own finances because you're struggling, financially, then you need to prioritize your finances rather than funding more gear. Okay, tip number 2. Take photos or write down the serial numbers of your guitars, amps, and even pedals. So all guitars, or most guitars, are going to have a serial number. Pretty much all of them are going to have a serial number on the back of the headstock, sometimes under the pick guard or under the neck joint, sometimes in the F-holes if it's a semi-hollow or hollow body guitar. Amps are going to have serial numbers on the back, and even some pedals are going to have serial numbers. The reason you should write down your serial numbers is if you ever decide you really want that gear back and the regret is just too much, you can start searching for the exact guitar that you had. So I see often on Facebook Marketplace and Gumtree and places like that, people putting a listing or a classified ad up saying, looking for my old Strat, or looking for my old Gibson SG Custom, or something like that. And they've got a photo of it, but they don't have the serial number. All they've got is the details of who they sold it to, maybe. If you've got the serial number with you, you can add that to your search, and that's going to help you find the guitar that you want back a whole lot easier. So if you need to get rid of a guitar for one reason or another, and you feel like you're going to regret it, absolutely write that serial number down, take photos of it, take photos of the serial number, so you know what you're looking for when you want to get it back, or if you want to get it back. Alright, tip number 3 is one that I do, and this is the one that's helped me the most get over letting go of gear and whatnot, is document the gear you've owned. So at home, I have this book, and it is the nerdiest and probably the cringiest thing you've ever seen, but it's basically a documentation scrapbook of all the guitars and amps and some of the cool pedals I've ever owned. So I do like a page on each guitar. I put a photo of the guitar in there, or maybe 1 or 2 photos of the guitar. I write some info on it. I write some of the specs and the serial number on it. And then I've got that documented in my book. So then when I let it go, I know, oh yeah, I own that guitar and that was a cool guitar, but I don't have to feel bad because I remember that guitar and I know I've owned that guitar. And like tip 2, I've got all the details there if I ever want to give it back. But this has helped me a lot get over letting go of gear, because I feel like I'm not really letting go of it in a sense, because I feel like I've still got a part of it. Sounds kind of weird, and it's kind of a really kind of like musician, wishy-washy, like overly emotional thing. but the guys out there who get it will get it. So I've got my guitars, my amps, and I do like a stock take of my pedals every year, take a big photo of that and paste it in the book. It actually might be a cool video if you guys wanted me to go through the book. That might be a cool idea. Let me know in the comments below. Every time my gas really steps up and I feel like I just need to buy a bit of gear, I'll just flick through this book, look at the gear I have owned, and it cures my gas, at least for a little bit. And one last real quick final bonus tip for you guys that I've only just thought of, but as a really good idea still. Lending or selling your gear to friends is a great idea, because you know you have a much greater chance of getting it back if that regret or that remorse is just too much for you. You're always pretty much in a position to get it back if you lend or sell your gear to friends. It's also still in your world, I guess, so you still have that chance to pick it up and play it or whatever. Alright guys, I hope those tips were helpful in your journey to let go of gear, declutter your studio space, whatever you plan on doing. Let me know what you thought of these tips in the comments below. Please like and subscribe and continue to commenting. I love the banter that we have in the comments. It's always the best part of these videos. If you've got any other tips, let me know down in the comments below and I'll pin it so everyone else can see those tips as well. Alright, stay safe guys, and I'll see you in the next video.